Hey, welcome in. Well, this really made my day today, I have to say. Because when you see the hypocrisy of these grifters, these race grifters, laid bare, it's wonderful. What's the headline here? White anti-racism author Robin Diangelo paid more than black woman to speak at the same diversity forum. Where's the equity now? Where's the equity now? Now, Robin Diangelo is the woman who wrote that book, White Fragility, and everything is racism and everybody's racist. And in fact, she admits that she herself is racist. She does, because she says that all white people are. This is a shameless grifter who traffics in lies and human misery, frankly, to make money, to dupe stupid people into giving her a lot of money, as we'll find out. Anyway, let's see what's going on here. 2 women were announced as keynote speakers at the University of Wisconsin-Madison's annual Diversity Forum. So, of course, she's there at the Diversity Forum. It's Robin Diangelo. You know, she's the queen of shaming people based on race. Both women were represented by the same New York-based Speakers Bureau, Harry Walker Agency. Both women spoke about anti-racism. Yet the white woman was paid 70% more for her speech than the black woman. Again, where is the equity, Robin Diangelo? Where is it? It's almost as if you don't actually believe any of the nonsense that you're peddling. Robin Diangelo, author of the best-selling book White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism. Well, it's actually not, as long as they agree with people like Robin Diangelo. But anyway, she has seen her star rise as more people on the left seek to learn more about how white people are inherently racist. Can you imagine if that's your life? It's just traveling around doing that? It's just no conscience, in my opinion. No conscience. Anyway, her website describes white fragility as a state in which even a minimal challenge to the white position, whatever that is, becomes intolerable. Triggering a range of defensive responses. These responses function to reinstate white racial equilibrium and maintain white control. None of this means anything. This is all made up. And as we can see from this article, even she doesn't actually really believe it, because it would be very easy for her to make sure this doesn't happen, especially when a fellow speaker is represented by the same agency. But I'm just going to go ahead here and just speculate that maybe she doesn't actually care. Maybe she likes money and lots of it. Let's see. In this book, White Fragility has allowed Diangelo to rake in speaking fees, where she charges up to $30,000 for a 60 to 90-minute speech. Her book also earned more than $2 million in sales, so she charges $30,000 for an hour to an hour and a half speech in which she tells people that they're just inherently bad or inherently flawed because of the way that they look, which is the same as her. You know, the same as her. But again, I mean, she actually does admit to herself being a racist, at least by her standards, right? It's all nonsense, but, you know, anyway, we'll just have to take her at her word. Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot. Anyway, let's continue. Now, the obvious reason Diangelo was paid more is because she is a best-selling author and a more prominent figure than Brown. But Diangelo's own writing suggests this kind of inequity is due to, you guessed it, racism. Let's see, quote, Diangelo has called such inequitable treatment the racist heart of capitalism, claiming that capitalism is dependent on inequality. If the model is profit over everything else, you're not going to look at your policies to see what is most racially equitable. And apparently she hasn't herself, so I guess she's at least partially right there. At least in regards to herself, she's right about that. Anyway, as she writes in her best-selling White Fragility, she believes that racism helps white people and hinders non-white people at every step of the employment process. Whiteness has psychological advantages that translate into material returns, the Free Beacon reported. And of course, what this term whiteness actually is never really properly answered. Apparently, they think it's like hard work and like planning for the future, which is an insanely insulting concept that is deeply insulting to everybody else in the world. Europeans didn't make up those things. They're part of human character. Regardless of where you're from, or regardless of what culture you're from. That's an insane idea. Anyway, that's the sort of thing that people like Robin DiAngelo pretend to believe. And if you're opposed to capitalism, and you think like Marxism is going to help you out, all you need to do really is literally just pick up any history book, any history book dealing with, say, the Soviet Union. It will disabuse you of those ideas very quickly. Anyway, this woman's been grifting with these ideas all over the place. Let's see, $20,000 contract to train the University of Connecticut's administrators about what. And corporations have her speaking, with exorbitant fees to try to lecture and try and brainwash their employees or shame their employees or whatever it is. And, of course, she's made a lot of money with her heavily promoted book, White Fragility, which, as far as I can tell, is just an evil racist screed. But anyway, she doesn't live up to her own standards, apparently. Anyway, this is a grifter, and everybody kind of knows it, don't they? It's just whether or not you find these ideas and somebody like her to be politically convenient. That's really all it comes down to. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast, Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform, including iTunes. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.